Sorry, I was lighting my candle. Welcome to Echoes in the Wind. We have a great show for you tonight. A beautiful woman, very talented, DeEtte Ranae.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello.
So, how are we doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. How about you guys?
Doing
Good.
great. Hey,
Doing-
Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. Okay. I don't know how you want to start off. If we can start. How about when you first found out how you had abilities?
Oh boy. I always tell people that's a story in itself. Only because I wasn't that child that necessarily was born seeing spirits all the time. Although I always knew something was there around me, I could feel them. All that, what just a terrified child of the nighttime. Darkness was not my friend. I wasn't afraid of the dark. I was afraid of what was in the dark. And I didn't have a reference to what that was because my mom didn't know. She did, like any normal parent, there's no monsters, there's no boogeyman, just go to bed, that type of a stuff. But I also had the other double-edged sword, which was, so that was the whole mediumship thing. But on the psychic level, I always knew everything. I was that kid that drove everybody batty because I knew all the answers before the question. So, I was that pain in the tush type of kid growing up. And that was basically my adolescence and into my adult and into my early, like almost preteens. Well, about preteens. Because when I was 9 years old, I had a grandmother that had gotten put into the hospital. And back in those days, you had to be 13 in order to go upstairs in the hospital. So I didn't know what the hospital looked like. I just knew grandma was sick. And one night she came to me in a dream. And in that dream, we're walking around the hospital and she's talking to me about stuff. And I'm not paying really attention to her because I'm looking at the house, that forbidden area,
Right.
And we got to this last room because we'd been going up and down halls and in our rooms. And we got to this last room and she opened up the door and she goes, "DeEtte, who is that?" And I looked at this bed and I looked at my daughter and I went, "Grandma, that's you." And I told her I was confused now. And that's when she told me the difference between the soul and the body, and that her body wasn't working anymore and that her soul was going to heaven. And okay, I get it. And she told me that don't be afraid that I would talk to souls, when I got older. That's what I was going to do in my life. Not a big deal. Woke up and told my mom grandma died. And she said, "Yeah, shush, you don't know everything." And 10 minutes later, my mom got a phone call, grandma had died, and it was like, okay.
Wow.
But to me, it wasn't that big of a deal because, again, it was just part of who I was without really still a reference because I was 9 at that point. So after that, I started having dreams when people would die. So it was like if I had a dream, nobody wanted to hear if I dreamt about you because, like, you had about a week left, And that went on, gosh, until probably about 2021 when I started dabbling in tarot cards and Ouija boards. And I think like any good red-haired American woman, that's an interest in divination, but really not having a reference point to it, and not really knowing, but just kind of playing. And then it went on and psychic abilities got stronger and stronger, but I didn't know that's what they were. I was a psychic jumper because I got really into everything, but I wasn't the one doing the readings. I was going to everybody else. But spirit, I would go and get these readings and I'd be told, "I can't read for you. You're blocked." Or I'd get, "You already know the answers. Spirit won't tell me anything." So I would show up and that's what I would get. So it just drove me back to find somebody else and find, constantly. Until I finally found this gentleman that ended up being a friend of mine in the long run. And I sat with him for 4 hours. And he's like, "You're better than me." And I went, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't even know what you're talking about." He's going, "I'm here. Spirits tell me you're better than I am." And I'm like, "No, I don't think so." Years went by and it was probably about another 10 years before I jumped into it and went, "Here I go."
Wow.
So I was a late bloomer. I was in my 40s before I took this route and just When I jumped on it though, and really kind of succumbed to it and learn about it and put parts of my life into meaning, it was, for me, it was a no-brainer then. It was like, oh wow, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what.
Hey, Miss Liz.
So yeah, it's a long story though. I can't just tell you, oh, I was born
Yeah.
with dead people. I wish it was that easy for me. I was the 2x4 therapy person.
Yeah.
Mm,
No, I get
wow.
it. I get it.
So did your mom, like for your story, you just like your mom and your grandma didn't have gifts either?
Well,
Or that you know of?
Well, that was the funny thing, is that no, not really. It's because everybody's born psychic. Okay, you've heard that. Everybody's born a medium too. And that's one thing people don't usually say. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, everybody can talk to their grandma if they passed away, and we all do it, which that's what is a medium. If you look up in the dictionary, medium is somebody talking to somebody on the other side. But they will be stronger in bloodlines. It's not my mother's side of the family. It's my father's side of the family. And my father gave me up for adoption to another man when I was 5, and he really didn't have it much to do with me in my life. So I honestly had absolutely no reference. And it's really funny because when I started to connect with him after I was 19 years old, we would sit there in conversation. We'd be talking. All of a sudden he would stop. He would look down for about 30 seconds. And he'd look back up and he'd start talking to me again. I thought he was ignoring me. I thought he was looking now, and he's been passed away now. But now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, he was reading me the whole time. So it really was.
Wow.
It's all on that side of the family. And I have a sibling from him, a younger brother that I've met, but really don't have much to do with. And not in the trade with me at all. But I just found out from a mutual friend of ours that he had gone to lunch with her. And he goes,
Wow.
he sat down and did a full reading. And she goes, how do you know all that about me? He goes, don't you know who my sister is? Yes, it is. And I like that. When I heard that story a few weeks ago, I actually kind of giggled because I went, okay, I guess it really is strong on my father's side. I just didn't know it was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it gave me a bit of clarification that I needed.
Wow.
That's cool.
Have you met anybody like on your father's side? Like, I'm sure there's others.
Well, I've met multiple family members, but no, nobody's really brought it up. I don't walk up and say, hey, I'm DeEtte, I'm a medium.
Yeah.
I know a lot of other people might do that, but I was a nurse for 21 years, and I can't remember ever walking up to me going, hi, my name's DeEtte, I'm a nurse. Because it's not what we do. We don't bring up that general conversation. Now, if my occupation comes up, I have no problem. I'm totally out of the closet. Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. If you have questions, please ask. I would love to give you some really good information so you just don't think of me as some gypsy in the back of a wagon, which some people still have that concept, for probably some really good reasons, because there's still some charlatans out there. But yeah, I've never walked up to any of them and said, here, this is who I am. Some of them are mutual friends with me on Facebook, so they see every post. They know about it all. So I know who I am.
I was meaning on your dad's side.
Yeah, I like I said, because we're friends with because I'm friends with some of the family member on my dad's side. But as far as I know, none of them. They're all hardworking blood, Americans that are just hitting the pavement some other way. So
you must have had it really hard being a nurse with abilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I've been asked that question, and I look back, and the abilities make so much sense in the nursing because I didn't realize. Now, most of my career, I did not know I had these abilities, but strangely enough, in 21 years, I never had an emergency. Not one, because I would get this feeling I need to go and check on room 52. So I go check, and I would walk in just on the cusp of something starting to happen that I could take care of, that I didn't need something else coming in stronger. And that happened all the time. Like I can remember a morning, like getting a report. And I'm looking at somebody going, did you check on so-and-so's blood? What was so-and-so's blood sugar? And they're like, well, it was fine at 4:00 this morning. I'm like, it's not anymore. We got to go. And they're like, it's fine. Let me get it. Leave. I got to go. And sure enough, walking into a patient that's blood sugar's at like 40 something.
Wow.
So the abilities were always there. I didn't realize that's what it was, so I guess I never questioned it. So when I look back at it, I'm like, wow, that. And then I talk to a lot of nurses now, and a lot of nurses follow that gut instinct. They go, yeah, that's, they with the knowledge and then bringing those abilities that sometimes they don't realize it is into play. All of a sudden, boom, there you go. I'm like, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but that gut instinct is what's going to kick everything into gear and help any patient. So
right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you're probably like, dang, I'm good at this job.
It wasn't a job I liked. So good at it. I did, I just wasn't for me. 21 years of it, 5 years as an aide. I learned I wasn't a job for me. I'd go back to it if I had to, but yeah. Not my first love. Not my first love.
Yeah. So now that you've gotten past that and all that, you've done a lot of big things. Can you tell us about that?
I guess it depends on what you think are big. Wow, gosh, my career. I will tell you what, I've been blessed in my career. I met so many amazing people. Rob Thompson being one of them. I don't know if you know who Rob is. I love Rob. And he'd gotten a hold of me just to train him, to teach him, because I'm a master teacher of psychic mediumship development. And that got me on 2 of his episodes, which were, to me, just blessed to be part of that. I do some really large events. I do a lot of galleries for events, that type of stuff. I am now I have my own radio show. My second one is the same, still the same title. I was on one network, and we were there for almost 3 years, and I had like 43,000 downloads. And
wow.
It literally in a month, less than a month, it was dissolved and all of it was gone. So another beautiful woman named Kelly Wagner, she owns the Edge magazine. Her and her husband created a network for my show. So God bless them. We're back on the air. We're at 197 downloads. Far cry from where we were, but people aren't finding. It's a whole new network, so it's relearning it and refinding it. So I have that, which is amazing. I'm also in their magazine every other month. I do the reading for the magazine, which is really cool. And I partner with a production company out of Chicago called Tribe 3 Productions. So to do some amazing stuff. I have a documentary that I can't say anything about because it's not all together, but there's a documentary we're going to start shooting here in like another 3 weeks or 4 weeks. That'll wrap up with a seance in October about a home that's got some history to it. So I'm fortunate enough to get asked to do a lot of things and go a lot of places and to work and be able to make this a career.
Right, yeah.
You've traveled a lot too, right?
I do. I travel all over the country. I'm blessed for that. So yeah, I travel all over the country doing this work. This September, I am part of a cruise. It's Psychic Fair at Sea cruise. We're doing I think it's Caribbean cruise in September. And then we're already starting to plan next year's. We're going to do Psychic Sea cruise and in Alaska about the same time. It'll be September next year, 2025. And in 2025, I'm thinking my years. I'm actually taking a group of people to Ireland. So, and we're going to do it's pretty amazing. I have a travel company, Secret Ireland Tours, that I work with for that. And then we're doing Ireland next year, and subsequent years, we're looking at Scotland and Wales and England. So as follow-up years and other places to be able to take people and into that history and bring in that mediumship factor and see, history a little bit from a different angle.
Right.
And it's really cool because I don't know if you guys know who Patty Negrias.
Mhm.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love her.
You love Patty. I love Patty.
Yeah.
I love her.
She's amazing. Her tour and my tour in Ireland are coming together for Beltane, the big ancient Beltane festival. So we're coming together
Oh,
to bring her company or her tour group and my tour group to have fun on Beltane in Ireland.
I wish
Watch
I
out,
was there.
Ireland.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I haven't seen Patty since last September, and I get to see her in a couple of weeks because we have Spirits in the Spring coming up here at Broadhead Manor in Wisconsin. Huge event that's up here, so she's coming in for that. So I'm super excited.
Aw.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, she's awesome. Patty's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
You don't have a headache, do you?
Me? No, I get a backache.
Yeah, that too.
We're currently expanding the treehouse for the grandbabies, so my back hurts
Aw.
from not doing very little work compared to the actual.
Is it? It's the
Right.
bottom of your back going
No,
up.
it's across my top. Like I just want to stretch. I want somebody to stop in between my shoulder blades.
All right,
My shoulder blades.
in between your shoulder blades.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's where I'm,
I
like,
was
hurting.
gonna.
I keep
was gonna
pushing
try
it
to
back
put
and like going like this, and it's just not working.
Yeah,
That's what I miss
that's
about
why.
having little kids in the house. Have them just lay down on the ground and just have them walk on you.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm fortunate enough because I'm in a live-in nanny, which means I moved in with someday I'm gonna grow up and live on my own again. But I moved into my daughter and her husband's to help watch the
Aw.
grandbabies, and I've been doing this for like 7 years now, 7.5 years.
Aw. You
Yeah.
wouldn't change it for anything, probably either.
At
What's that?
least
I say you probably wouldn't change it for anything either.
No,
Yeah.
it's been a beautiful experience to be part of their lives and to have those memories. And hopefully they look back on. I always think about those friends that I had in school that were like, oh, my grandma lived with us until we were such and such an age. Of course, their grandma always died. I don't want that to happen. I would like to grow up and have my own home again. You know? But hopefully they, when they get older, they look back on those memories and go, yeah, that was grandma.
At least I validated your back.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I just got to
Hey,
validate
Marie.
the headache. Anybody in the comments have a headache? So mine will go away.
Validate it. Make it go away. So you also teach classes too, right?
Yeah.
So what all do you kind of?
Yeah.
I teach, actually I have a beginner's class starting May 29th. That one's online. So that's beginner psychic mediumship development. I have an intermediate class that I teach, an advanced 1 and advanced 2, because it's advanced psychic, advanced mediumship, and then a certification class that I teach, automatic writing.
Oh, wow.
Getting up and doing galleries, finding yourself, just a lot of different things, soul coaching for people. Yeah. So this is really, it's my love. It really is. And I've been moving a lot more into consciousness type thinking and helping to enlighten people with kind of different ways of thinking and different ways of looking at things,
Right.
Basically taking the old book, The Secret, and now making sense of it.
Deidre told us a lot about you. We'll have to talk backstage about
She's
that
awesome.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With your classes and stuff. Yeah. She is very sweet. We had
Brian
her on
says he has a
last
small
week.
one.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. Because it was like as soon as I came on, my head and then my back. Yeah.
Joanne says, does an X count?
No. No.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Liz. Okay.
So they just go to your website to sign up for classes, or how does that
Right
work?
now, for my beginner's class, if they like to take it, that beginner's class is online, and obviously that's to anybody in the world because it's on Zoom pretty much. On that one, they go to my website, and it's just DeEtte.us, www.deette.us. And then they go to the courses page. Scroll down where it says beginners. It literally says basically pay for the course right here. I get notification I receive payment. I send them a, hey, thank you for, joining the class. And then literally on just or May 29th, then I will be sending out an email link for the class itself, the Zoom class, and their first lesson. So that's how we get registered for that. Being an online class, obviously, I have to spread that out. So it's 8 lessons, it's 7 lessons, 8 classes total. In beginners, it's really about retraining the brain to start to use your abilities. Because like I said, everybody does this. Everybody does. But it's really hard it's easy to teach somebody how to be a psychic or be a medium. It's not easy to get people to trust themselves, or just pay attention to the senses in general. So beginners is all about teaching them about their senses, their 2D senses, moving into the third, that more 3D type sense. And then finally finishing up with some picture readings for them. But that's when they're finally like, if I asked them to do a reading before that, they'd be like, no, nobody would take the class. I'm not doing readings the first day, There's no way, but it's a lot of fun. But we meet, this particular class will be meeting every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for 2 months. I also offer it, I believe it's in the end of June. I'm doing it as a 1-day class, if they're in the Rock County or Southern Wisconsin area, Northern Illinois area. So that class does get offered as a day class, but it's a long day. We start at 10 and they're not done till 5. By the end of the day, they're doing 4 readings for me and they're exhausted and like, oh.
So the classes start 10 in the morning till 5 at night?
My beginners class does, if they do it in person. If they do the in person, it's a long Saturday.
Okay, say somebody like me. I've had my abilities, I started young like you. I've gotten a lot of my abilities down, but there's others. And I have people like you. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop second guessing yourself.
Right.
I don't feel I am, but I guess I am.
I think everybody does, though. The best of the best will go, I'm not quite sure. The only difference is we say it anyway, even if we look stupid. You know what I mean? I will tell you, I've had more stuff come out of my mouth and somebody will look at me and go, yeah, I can't take that. And I take a no as I need to go back and get more information. So I will always spit it out, one way or another.
Right.
I spit it out because it's not about second guessing. It's just get it out of your head, get it out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then I start second guessing myself and then I'm breaking my energy and I never want to break my energy. So I get to know, I'll do what I will go back and go, okay, Spirit, what did I get wrong? Give me more information, flip this around, do whatever you have to do to help this person understand what I'm trying to say. And then they'll tell me basically the same thing, but in a different way. So I'll come back and go, boom, boom, boom. Does this make sense to you in this way? Nope, still doesn't. And then I will look at it and say, put it in your back pocket for later.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll make sense later. Maybe it'll make sense, someday down the road. It's not about second guessing, but still giving the information and keep moving,
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's the difference between somebody that, quote unquote second guesses versus somebody that doesn't, and it's a matter of, I always say trusting yourself, trusting your own abilities, because a lot of times people don't trust, I mean, if I see a leprechaun, I'm going to tell you I see a leprechaun. And also go, oh, I've seen lots of leprechauns, trust me. I'm not making that one up. I've seen tons of leprechauns. But somebody else might go, oh, I'm not talking about no darn. I ain't going to tell somebody that. I'm going to look crazy.
Yeah.
So my beginner's class online is $225.
Yeah, I just did a reading for this one lady. She's in the comments right now. And she said, it didn't make sense to her at the time. And then I think it was the next day. Right, Joanne? Was it the next day? She sent me a message. She said, you're a weirdo. And I said, a weirdo? And then she told me why. Everything I told her kids, I told her she was making a move. She was making a change. Like everything that I said.
Right.
Yeah. And so she said, "You're just a weirdo." So,
That's
yeah.
okay.
This love wants to know, hello, do you recommend anything I can use for cleansing myself?
You know what? There's a few things that are really simple, very, very simple. If you want to get high tech and finagle, go out and get some sage. You know what I mean? Sage is always a good one. Palo Santo is a good one. I always tell people because I like, like some people might think like $225 is a lot of money, but if you go to a lot of other people, that's nothing compared to most people teaching, So I'm always about like getting it less expensive. So I'm going to tell you the best thing is go out to Walmart, get yourself a little plastic bottle, squirt bottle, water squirt bottle. Put some more water in there, put, a good hefty amount of salt in there, make sure it dissolves, and now you got something to clear yourself. Salt is one of your best clearers. If you want to get fancy and put some essential oils in there, feel free to do that, but you don't have to. Salt water at the end of the day is going to be a great, great, great way to cleanse. Okay. So that's one thing. And that anybody can go to your cover and make that basically for free.
Yeah.
Right.
It is amazing. Palo Santo is amazing. Obviously, that's involves smoke and pushing it around you, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
I always tell people get back to earth. Get your shoes and socks off. Get in the ground. Take your tootsies and just play with that grass in between your toes. If you're in the desert, do it with the sand, whatever. But allow the earth to take your energy, all that negative, heavier energy. Just let it soak it in. It wants to do that. Allow nature to refill you because that's what it's for. That's what it was given to us for. And those are the best ways to clear yourself. And then bubble up, buttercup. It's the best saying I got because so many people don't bubble themselves up, We have so many empaths running around, and I always say uncontrolled empath, an empath is an uncontrolled person. We're all empathic, but when people come at you with that word, I'm empathic, there's always this weight and this throat chakra that's shutting down, this sense of panic. And it's because they're uncontrolled, because nobody's taught them how to bubble up, how to clear themselves, how to woosah, to breathe, and to realize that you can feel everything without taking it on,
Right.
So learn how to just, wash your hands, which is with the intent of washing your aura. And then literally imagine yourself in a kid's bubble. Take some breaths in there. You're going to be protected. A lot of the work we do is with intention.
Yeah. Now, what if you live in the city?
Doesn't matter.
I don't have any. No, I know I know how to bubble and all that kind of stuff, but I'm saying as far as grounding, I use sea salt.
Sea salt works. You can go, honey, get Morton salt out of your pantry. Everybody's like dead sea salt, this, that, the other. No, go get some Morton salt, use that. And I'm going to tell you, get a plant for your house then. Get a house plant. It's going to help. I always laugh. Do you ever watch Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack's running around with a glass of dirt with the heart in there? He was carrying something to ground him the whole time. It's like dirt's going to ground you. Dirt's going to ground you. And people don't realize that. Plants will be there for you. A lot of times it's like if you're in the city or I tell people if they're like in northern Wisconsin, or in colder areas where it gets snow and they're like, I'm not going to go outside. If you have a pet, go outside with your pet when you take them out to go potty. Pet your pet. That pet is going to ground for you. You're going to ground. You're going to ground right through your pet. You can do that with your kids. Even in the city, there is possibly some parks. There is a tree here and there. They still put those in a lot of places. So it's like literally go and sit up against a tree. Put your hand against a tree. You're waiting for the bus. Lean against the tree. Whatever it might be. I mean, I've never been to New York, but I can't imagine there ain't a tree somewhere in the city. You know what I mean? Or a park.
Right.
But again, I've never been to New York, so it's a possibility. But
you're supposed to ground every day. I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
So
imagine roots coming out your feet.
Yeah, that was another one. Yeah. Aren't the roots supposed to go out your toes?
Out the bottoms of your feet, down and out of your feet. Yeah. So it's just kind of imagine. And again, in that aspect, especially if you live in more of a concrete world, take off your shoes and socks even in your place. And when you're meditating, meditate that you've got roots coming out your feet, and have them, imagine them, you can live on the 10th floor. And imagine those roots going through all those apartment buildings all the way down and getting into the earth's core, into the crystal grid, and allowing that energy to still go down.
Yeah.
Because that'll help tremendously.
Yeah.
Breath work is huge. So many people throw breath work right out the window. Breathing, right? Your breath is a way to ground. So there's no reason not to do it these days, because there's too many ways to do it.
Mm-hmm. Like I'll pick a windy day and just go outside and just sit outside in the wind.
Yeah. Just open up a window. Let that fresh air come in. Breathe.
Yeah.
So many things,
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
Garden is a good one too.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because like I've seen some of these people post their classes or like and I'm just like, holy cow. You almost need like a whole second mortgage on your house to even join the class. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
I could be that person, but I literally, when I got my master teachership, and I know other people that were master teachers charge more, and I tell people I live in Midwestern Wisconsin, and
okay.
And it's not that I can't charge more, but I'm always like, I have this mindset that I live in the Midwest. Midwest isn't California. It's not New York. It's not where, if you look at where pay rates are, we're a lot less in a lot of places.
Right.
So, it is that aspect if you think about it. So it's kind of trying to keep it in that frame of mind. But it's really funny because when it's my online class, excuse me, I rarely have anybody from my area. It's like somebody goes to me, you need to start charging by another coast pocketbook. Probably so, but I wanted to keep it affordable. I got too many people I know that were like me. You start feeling like you're going crazy. You don't know what's going on. You don't know where to turn. You want to take that class, but that class is so expensive. And you're like, oh my God, do they have like a 5-year payment plan or something? Because I also got to buy groceries, and it's so hard. And I went, I don't want that for people. I'm never going to get rich teaching. I'm really not. And I look at people, if you look at $225 spread over 8 weeks,
right?
That's not that much money if you divide it. What is that? $25.50 or something a class, whatever it is. It's not that much money. So, so that literally I can reach a lot more people. I can help a lot more people, because a lot of people take my beginner's class are not going to be taking my advanced. They just want to have an understanding of what's going on with themselves. They want a little bit better control over their own emotions, because when you learn how, that you're an empath and you learn how to deal with it, all of a sudden it's like anxiety goes away. Depression starts to go away. All these things that we have, all these wonderful clinical diagnoses for, start to alleviate them, just because they did a beginner's class and it made sense to them. So, and I could put a bigger price on that, but why? Really, why?
Well, you have a beginner's class. So what if somebody knows a lot of their gifts and they need to go like a little step higher? Do you have something else?
I actually sit there and I talk to people then, and I go, okay, where are you at? Do you do readings? Do you not do readings? Where all that, and try to place them in the best place I can at that point.
Okay.
Because I want the best I can. And sometimes what I will do is go, okay, well, you're doing readings, which is wonderful, which is always awesome. But you don't know a lot of the beginner stuff, because a lot of times people are naturally trained. They're trained by spirit. They're born this way. They've been working with that, but they don't quite have a hone in on a lot of it. Okay. So They need part of my beginner's class. Okay. But they don't need the whole thing. They just need maybe the first 2 weeks of it, which is just a ton of knowledge. So I'll go, okay, you're more of the intermediate or more of the advanced, but you need this stuff. So I will say, okay, say, and I don't know where you're at. So maybe I looked at you, darling. I went, I feel like you're more intermediate. Where I want is like you have these great abilities, but I really want you to start practicing and honing in and getting rid of that doubt, which I would throw you into intermediate at that point. But because you're untrained and you don't know a lot of this other stuff, I would tell you, we're going to charge you a little extra money because I'm going to add 2 more weeks onto your lessons. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to my first 2 weeks, my beginners have a ton of information for you to go, oh, this is making more sense to me. And then attach it on to the intermediate class. So then you're not wasting your time with those extra weeks and the extra money, because I don't want to just take your money to go buy more bread or whatever, but I want the best for you,
Yeah.
So, and then I do that with people. Because I've tried people that get into my intermediate and we get halfway through and they're like, I'm lost. I don't understand what you're talking about with the ego.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I kind of looked at people and went, we need to shift this up a little bit.
Yeah. So you start at the beginner and see where they're at. And then, I get it.
And I will tell you, out of everybody I've certified that went through all my levels, I think I have maybe 2 that aren't full-time mediums, or on some aspect.
Wow.
Either have quit their jobs completely and this is what they do, or they found their path within the divination world, whether it was doing readings or house clearings or entity removals or pet communication, whatever it's been. So, and a lot of them keep their regular jobs, but they do this also and make money. So they've all gone professional.
Wow.
I think I only have 1 that has not gone complete professional.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I know I don't know if you know Resnick, probably not. You know Resnick?
I just spent the last couple of weekends with him. Yes, I love Res.
Oh, okay. We were talking about certified psychic. Was it certified? Yeah, certified psychic.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm certified, yeah.
Was it certified psychic or certified medium?
Certified psychic medium, yep. The only difference when it's certified and not certified is us certifieds needed somebody to tell us we knew what the hell we were doing.
Yeah, because he keeps telling me to go for it. Yeah. It's easy. Go for it.
He went through one of the churches. Yeah. And I just talked to Raz. He's going to jump into one of my advanced classes. So.
Oh.
You can never get enough training. You can.
No, you can't.
I will tell you what, I have learned more in the last 6 months of my life, picking up a lot of books, a lot of podcasts, a lot of books on audio, learning, and it has completely changed my life, my readings. But education never stops in this. It really
no.
It doesn't. You can always get more aha moments, more going, oh my gosh. So where Raz went through a church and got certified through one of the church organizations, I went through a lady by the name of Lisa Williams, who is not affiliated. I mean, she's affiliated with the church, but she doesn't teach for the church at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very big on what I call healing mediumship. So there should always be a message. I love evidence. Don't get me wrong. I love evidential mediumship. I just don't believe that evidence is just necessarily name, rank, and serial number. I think you have to have name, rank, and serial number in there to say, I have got your grandma. I need to know without a doubt, we have got grandma. I need to give you enough information that you're like, yep, that's mine. And then let's bring the grandma's personality in. Let's make grandma come here, because you know what? I want her personality. I want the way she talked. I want her accent to come through me. I want you to look at me and go, oh my God, nobody's brought her through that way.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a message. There's always going to be a message, whether it's I love you or get your stuff together, go back to school. What the heck are you doing with that guy? Whatever the message is.
Yeah.
There should always be something. And a really good mediumship reading will have all of it. It's not just going to be, I got your grandmother. Her name was Susan. She died at 64. She's much, blah, 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 but no, more.
You have to say personal stuff.
I want it all. I want her to tell you what you did. I want her to tell you that you wore your dirty underwear 3 days in a row. If I come through with that and you go,
Yeah.
Whoa. How do you know I haven't taken a shower?
Yeah.
Grandma told me.
Yeah.
That tells you Grandma's been with you.
Well, I was on the phone with Rez. Me and Kimmy was on the phone with Resnick a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And I asked him for a reading. And he gave me a reading. So he says, I want a reading. So I said, well, I don't have any cards, Resnick. Yeah. So
Yeah, he got that from me.
yeah. He's like, yeah, so I said, okay. I said, because I done readings in the past and even before him,
Right.
here and there. So I said, okay, let's give this a try.
Mm-hmm.
I got his dad. I described him. I described where he was, everything. And he was like, yep. He said, that's a part of the res. That's where we put his ashes. Then I saw a little tiny house. I described it. He said that was his mom's house on the res. Then I saw his mom on the res about 20 feet from his dad. And he's like, well, I'm going to tell you, that's part of the res. And that's where we did their ashes. That's where they wanted to be. And it just went on from there. And he's like, I did it, but
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, Rez is awesome. Yeah, Rez got a hold of me. Oh,
he's
2
awesome.
months ago, he was awesome. And he said, suggestion for a deck of cards or something like that. And I says, Rez, you don't need any certain cards. Okay. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I just did a reading with meditation cards. He's like, what? I said, because I review on my podcast, I review decks. People send me decks of cards and I review them. I said, I got sent a meditation deck. And when I opened the cards, I went, what the hell am I supposed to do? These are meditation cards. Like, I'm supposed to have cards start reading with meditation. I did it. I'm like, because I looked at the pictures, like this, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, Rez, you got a magazine. Pick that baby up. You know what? Because it's called going direct, and people don't realize that. I teach that in my advanced or my certification class. It's going to direct. It's looking around the room. Start the reading. Look up. Oh, I see the word thankful. I see skulls. I see this. All this stuff can be part of a reading because when it pops into your eyesight, all of a sudden, boom! It means something. You know.
Mhm.
So you don't need a deck of cards. You don't need anything. You know, the world becomes your oyster with us then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he loves his native deck
He does.
that he has.
He
Yeah.
also likes his new unicorn naughty deck, so don't let him fool you.
Oh, well, unicorn naughty day. He must have got the rebel deck.
He did. He got a hold of me. What's the name of that deck? I said, oh boy, Rez is in trouble. Rez is in trouble. Now he's got that deck.
We'll have to get on him later for that.
It's a good deck. It's a good
I
deck.
love that deck. It's so fun.
I've been trying not to swear. Ask Spirit to take the swear words out of my mouth. And so I don't pick up the deck. I've been doing really well. I mean, except for one reading that was just cussing the whole time. I said, he goes, that's all he did was cuss. I said, I know, and I'm getting mad at him because I don't want to swear no more.
But it's true. Like, I mean, like my mom's favorite word was, the bullshit word, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody was to sit there and do a reading and not say it at least once, I know you didn't really have my mom,
Right. Oh, that's just it. So now it's like I don't color the language myself anymore. So, or I'll go, oh my God, they are just F-bombing me left and right. And they're like, no, write it out. I'm like, I'm not going to. I have Spirit to clean up my mouth, but they won't clean up for me. So they're F-bombing me everywhere. So I'm trying to find creative ways to not swear. It's not always working though.
Right.
I can't. If your people are swearing, I guess it's coming out my mouth. So.
Oh my goodness. Do you also paranormal ghost hunt?
I do once in a while. Yeah. It's quite interesting. It's not the world I ever thought I would be into. But I am, which I love. I can't even lie. I do love it. I've gone on some amazing investigations. Matter of fact, one investigation was for an amazing group that is no longer in connected and not together anymore. But it was oh my gosh, Expedition Entity. I almost forgot the name of their group, Expedition Entity.
Okay.
It was Dan Norvell and Larry Essler, and just great guys, along with their historian Paige. We all went. They picked me up last August, and didn't tell me where we're going. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to know. I want most paranormals. I want blind. I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
want address. I don't want nothing. I just want to go. So we did, and it was awesome. We went up there, the Bad Axe, Wisconsin, where the Bad Axe massacre, the Black Hawk massacre happened, where they wiped out the whole Native American tribe, a lineage. And yeah, so not that was awesome, but the connections we had were really amazing, great, and that got turned into a talk. That Larry goes around now talking about that talk all over, which is really cool. Yeah, I've got, with Rob Thompson, been able to go on with him for a couple of investigations. Glen Beulah School, in Glen Beulah, Wisconsin. I've been over to Edinburgh Manor over in Iowa. Yeah, honey, I'm working.
Possible.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You get mad at me because I said yes, but that's okay. So just if I said no, he'd have thrown a fit. You don't want all that. So I've been really blessed to go on a lot of paranormal investigations. And gosh, the world, I'll tell you what, they are amazing. I love, I got blessed because I got thrown in ankle deep into paranormal. I didn't just go, Tickle, tell me, let's go see a haunted house, because my MO, don't go there. I always would tell people, I talk to dead people. I don't want dead people tell me boo, that type of a thing.
Right.
So I was like, would never do it. And then I ended up starting to, teach a few people that were in the paranormal field. And of course, they're getting a hold of me. I'm like, no. And doing readings from afar for that, which was kind of cool. And then I got brought into it, with some of the OGs of paranormal. I got brought into it with some of them, and just some incredible. No, get one and put those back. The same ones are down below, already in bags. I'm working.
These are the same ones.
Yes.
The same ones.
Exact same ones. Sorry, guys. He's 4.5. He's going to argue with me until the day is, gone. So I've been really glad to be able to meet and work with some of the team that were at, Ed and Lorraine Warren's team. I've been, blessed. Gosh, just what they still have. The Warren Legacy Foundation. I was blessed to be able to work with them for a little bit. And just truly amazing people. I'll tell you, truly. The OGs, John Zappas, I've gotten to meet him, not work with him, but meet him. He's such a great guy. All of them. Yeah. I was blessed. I was blessed to be able to just get, hip deep into all of it right off the bat,
Yeah.
So I don't have the stories that I went and sat in this house for, however many hours and this and that, trying to get some information, I really got blessed to get thrown into it. I'm a part of the Shadow Hunters, out of Illinois, and they do some incredible things. Unfortunately, I never get to go with them because I'm booked someplace else. Every time they plan something, I'm booked someplace else. I'm like, you guys got to book out like a year for me. So I can go on some things, but I get it. A lot of times it's not a year out. It's a week from Friday or something. So
right.
But thank God they've got Deidre, who's got a little bit more accessibility to be their medium. That's can go to a lot more things than I can. So
yeah.
Yeah, she's super sweet.
Deidre's amazing. Yeah, she's super amazing.
She looks very highly up to you.
I think a lot about her too. I just turned in January, so
yes.
Yeah.
She mentioned you so much on the show.
Oh,
she really did.
I love her. She's so awesome. She really is.
We told her you were coming on.
Oh, yeah. I took her to Days of Dead with me. Days of Dead is a huge event that is not it's complicated because it's a huge event that has nothing to do with mediumship whatsoever. It's a horror fest is what it is, and
Oh, heck yeah.
it goes all over the country, but this is an event that like they get the names and like Clive Baker from Hellraiser, that created Hellraiser and Hellraiser cast and Children of the Corn cast. I mean, we're talking names, big names. This event is, and that's where Tribe 3 Productions does their media. And they brought in Shadow Hunters, which is awesome. And Nick, who is the owner and organizer of Shadow Hunters, gets a hold of me and says, "Do you want to come and come?" And I'm like, "No, no." And I'm like, "If I can do readings, I'll come. If I can do readings." It's like, where does a media? Yes, they kill him. I talk to him. I get it. And then partway through that, Deidre got brought in, which was awesome. And her and I were the first ones. And we came in as the Shadow Hunter experience, which we still are under the Shadow Hunters experience. But by the end of the event in November, I kind of laid back and I went, my medium's lounge. And they went, "Oh, I like that." So I brought her back again in March when we had it again. And I have a medium's lounge, which is part of the Shadow Hunters experience. But every 6 months we're there, and every 6 months I bring in another medium. So I'm the stable every 6 months, but I bring in a friend or a colleague that we're showcasing, to say, hey, this is part of the mediums lounge this time. Never more than 2 mediums, because although there's 9,000 people that walk through the door, and you would think we'd have enough, I could have.
Wow.
We're new. We're very new to it, and not everybody in the Horror Fest knows what a medium is, let alone to come to my lounge and sit down and get a reading. So
9,000 people.
Yeah, over 9,000 come through. Oh gosh,
Wow.
Freely was there, Skid Row was there, Dean Kane was there. I met mental people cast. I mean, so many. Again, the same way this last, just March was phenomenal. But until they know who we are and what a medium is, although I was very blessed, this last one, somebody came through from Ireland and she knew what a medium was, and she vetoed right for us, and I got a new client. So super sweet, super amazing. Sat with her for like over an hour. So
do you notice some people, I don't know if it's Ireland, but I know like Scotland and a few other places, they think people like us are fake.
I didn't have that issue when I went there. No, I was in Scotland. Gosh, so it'll be some years ago. Went over there and did readings. And the group I was with, not in any way did they feel I was fake, or nor did the people that I was, there, because they're rich in that culture. England is huge into mediumship because it's a spiritualist movement over there, and every other, I know it's an exaggeration. There's not a spiritualist church on every corner, but there's a lot of them. So there's a lot of mediumship. Not to mention, England has a witcher's law, which means if you're fake, you can be jailed. So you've got that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Canada has a witcher's law. United States doesn't yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
It's very haunted too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. All these places are. So, I mean, I've been to Ireland, did reading there in Ireland. Scotland, did lots of readings in Scotland. So they were all very much believing in me, which was nice. So, but I think when you come back off as authentic, it's, again, if I walked down and I'm a psychic medium and let me talk to your dead people, let me give you a reading, I think that looks very not believable. It's websites for, you come find me, that type of a thing. And I think it validates a lot more.
Yep.
Do you think the United States will go that way of making sure everybody's certified?
Oh, definitely. There's some stuff in the works already. that to get United States to have a witcher's law too of some sort. And it won't mean that you have to be certified in order to work, and do the work. But what it will mean that is if you do the work and somebody complains and you go to court, if you're certified, it's going to prove that you've been tested and that it's kind of like being a doctor with a doctor's license. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
To, be a medium, but it's going to be like, hey, I've been tested all over the place. I am the real deal. I've gone through it, versus that person, because there was a lady, I think it was last year in Iowa, who was banned. She went to court, got fined, and was told she can't perform as a psychic medium ever again because she.
Really?
Oh yeah, she did a psychic reading and injected too much of herself into it, and told the person basically things she shouldn't have or in the wrong manner, and the person did it, and a lot of bad things happened. So yeah, she ended up getting arrested and went to court and lost and
Whoa.
to be a psychic medium over. So yeah, I think the United States is going to go that way, and rightly so.
Yeah, I mean, you're messing with people's lives.
And people don't realize that.
What the heck did she say to that person?
People don't realize that when you're a psychic, people come to you for advice. They don't come to you because, oh my gosh, I just, whether it's, something about their relationship or their children or their financial or whatever, or health, anything in the psychic world is about your life. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You literally have the power of that person's life in your hand. That's responsibility. And a good psychic should realize I'm responsible.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm not a person that won't tell you bad stuff. Okay. If it comes through, I'm going to let you know. But am I going to look at you and say, oh my gosh, I feel like you're dying tomorrow? If I sense you have cancer, am I going to look at you and say, oh my God, I feel you have cancer, you better get you back to the doctor? No. What I will look at you and say, God, I feel something here. I don't know what this is, but mind going just go get a checkup. I don't know what it is. Give me information, but not in a way to panic the heck out of somebody or tell somebody, if somebody comes to you for a relationship, don't ever look at and say, leave your husband.
Ooh.
You're only getting what you're getting in this box. You're in this person's energy. You're not in the husband's energy also. You're in this person's energy. So you're only really getting one half of the story,
Wow.
So showing people pathways. I see this if you go down this pathway. I see this if you go down this pathway. But I'm going to give you that information, allow you to make your choice.
I would never tell nobody that.
But you have a lot of psychics that will, even the smallest of thing. I feel you should do this, or you know what I mean? All that stuff.
No.
You take somebody else's responsibility into your hands.
That's up to them what they want to do.
Exactly. You
don't tell them.
No. Free will, baby. Free will.
We're not the Dear Abby column.
No.
A psychic reading is about advice and guidance. It's not about anything more than that. And unfortunately, I think we've gotten a bad rap because back in the day, and let me tell you your future. Well, we're going to see pathways, but, and I mean, quite honestly, a good psychic is going to see and go, oh God, they're leaving their husband. This isn't going to be pretty. But just because you see it doesn't mean it should possibly come out your mouth.
No.
Right.
You can look at them and say, hey, well, I see you have some trust issues. Yeah, that man's been cheating on me left and right. You know what I mean?
As far as, let me tell you, future, you're not supposed to tell the future.
Well, you can. You just tell them by past. Yeah. It's the thing is what people don't realize is the future, it's a destiny. It's a twofold. So whatever's going to ultimately happen is going to ultimately happen no matter what. No matter what I do or don't say, the ultimate reality of what's going to happen in your life is going to happen. Okay. There is, I'm going to quote Neil Diamond Walsh, Conversations with God. There are no wrong choices. Why? Because you're creating your world, you're creating your reality. Right. But there's certain things that you want to do when you came here. Those certain things are going to happen no matter what. How you get to them, there's 100 paths.
Yeah.
100 paths. So I can tell you, okay, like if you come to me and say, tell me about my relationship. Okay, this is what your relationship feels to me. Does this make sense? Yes, it does. Thank you. I'm going to go on. Okay, well, I'm putting a couple of different scenarios in my head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the scenario I'm saying in my head. And I'm going to see what it looks like. And I'm going to give you what that looks like. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Do you understand that? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to put this one in. This doesn't feel the same. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? And giving people that that extra that maybe they weren't looking at before.
Right.
So, I mean, it should be better than going to a counselor. Better than going to a counselor. Counselors are great, don't get me wrong. I love the field. I was a psych nurse for 5 years. Love the field. But a good psychic reading should really tell you a lot to help guide you, to give somebody more information that they didn't have before to make a choice that's better for them.
Different mindset too, probably.
I'm stating it.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's, gives them a different way of looking at it. But sometimes that person's in that personal spot and they're only going to see it one way.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And when a psychic comes in, it can tell you this is what I'm seeing in the past, and this is what I'm seeing right now, and you're correct on all that. And you're going, oh boy, and these are the different things I'm seeing, options for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to see, it clears their mind to see things. Or you give them clarification of what they already knew. Because a lot of people coming to you already know, they just want that clarification. And a psychic's going to give that clarification. And that's money and gold to a lot of people.
Yeah. I wouldn't tell anybody what to do, like what you were saying, like leave your husband. Like, no, that's like, no.
I don't want the husband on my doorstep saying, you told my wife, did not, buddy.
No.
Did not.
Yeah.
No, that's her choice.
Yeah.
No. Wow.
We're at the hour. Do you want to keep going, or are you ready to?
I know I gotta start helping get people down to bed soon. So.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Do you have anything?
Let people know where to find you and your podcast and all that.
Yeah,
kind of
that
stuff
went by really fast. Really fast.
Well, my podcast is called School Through Spirit, and it's on the Edge Network. So in the podcast form, you just look for the Edge Network, and you'll find it. We've got my show, and then the Be Curious show on that, which is amazing. We do live stream every Monday morning. And the live stream can be found either on my Facebook's with my public account, DeEtte Ranae, or it can be found on DeEtte.us, which is also my Facebook account, my YouTube channel, which is DeEtte 72. Those three places for sure. It's like in 8 or 9 different locations. But you always go back and see the replays either on, if you don't have like a Podbean account, you go to my YouTube channel and watch them there again, or listen. I believe you can watch them on YouTube. Podbean, obviously, it's going to be a listening only because it's radio. Always go to my website, DeEtte.us. All my classes are there. All that wonderful stuff is there. So, which is amazing. So I've had a great web designer that did my new site last year, and I'm so thrilled about it. So, always, I do have a beginner's class in person and online for people that are all over the world to come and do my online one. That starts May 29th is my that's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Central Standard Time. Sorry. If you're in the UK, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, but even those people that are in the UK, I will record and send it to them if that's an option. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess everybody in there. Yeah, Brian. Right. Hint. I was kidding.
All right. Well, if you want to hold on backstage so we can say goodnight. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming in. And we'll see you next week. And thank you to DeEtte for coming with us. And we'll see you next week. Much
Good night, everybody.
Good night.